Is it hard for you to stay present, like in general?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm a very
Very
to
present.
a fault.
Okay.
Like in a relationship, I can be annoying. Like, what are you feeling? Tell me how you feel. Like, talk to me. No, I need to know right now. Like, no. But like, put words to it instead of giving that person their space to gather their thoughts. I'm like, no, let's talk about this right now because I don't ever want to talk about it again. I'm so annoying. I'm very, very present.
Okay.
Like people will tell you.
Do you like that about yourself?
Yes, I think
Okay.
it's a gift and a curse, which most things are, right? Like your best quality can also be your worst quality.
Sure,
I think
sure,
I'm
sure.
an active listener. I really try to pay attention to what someone's saying, also what they're doing, like their motions as well. Maybe that's being a lawyer too, you know, like because I was a litigator. I'm not sure, but I'm very present.
Okay. The law of it all. Do you practice currently? No?
No.
Would you go back?
I mean, the way this industry's going, I might have to. I would prefer not. There's
Okay.
way more money out there to be made than being in an office
Yes.
and, you know, dealing with motions and all of that all day and billing.
Would you do, because I mean, you've done TV as we know. Would you do a law show? You know how they do Selling Sunset and they're selling houses? Would you be, this is a good pitch. You're running the firm?
No, because I
Okay.
think I am so rusty that they would be like, okay, who was she defending?
Right.
Because I was civil defense.
Okay.
So maybe some form of it. Maybe the show could be me getting back into it. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people take a break and then they jump back into it. I hope I don't have to, but I do think what's beautiful about a law degree is you can use those skills in so many different
Yeah,
areas.
transferable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe a judge show.
Oh, okay. Order in the court. Who do you look to, though, for inspiration who has shared an alike experience of, you know, they went through a shock, you know, who's maybe you don't know them or maybe they're in your camp who has experienced, you know, the passing or a divorce. Like, who do you look to be like, you know, it's good to see yourself. Representation matters, right? As they
Yeah.
say. So is there anyone?
This is going to sound bad, but no.
Yeah.
Not someone I don't know because everyone's experience is so different. I will say with death,
Yeah.
I only wanted to look to family and how they were dealing with it. Grief is so, like, even when I remember my podcast co-host Van lost his father, I've never lost a parent. So to me, the best thing I could do was listen. Like it's just, and I'm saying that's not answering your question directly, but I'm saying it in the sense of everybody's grief is so different. Now that I have lost the closest person to me, his grief was so different from mine. So it's so hard to compare in that way when it comes to loss because it's so subjective depending on who that person was to you and what they meant to your life and what your experience was with them. But with divorce, I will say that it was important for me. What I quickly realized is my friends aren't divorced. And I've met so many other divorced women along the way who I feel like that has been important to me. So, you know, I don't want to necessarily name them in particular. Sure. Some people I have named, right? Like, I remember I went to a restaurant, Norma, great restaurant.
I like that word.
It's cute, right? It was my first time going there. And when I walked in, I saw Terrell from the Terrell Show.
Yes, love
and he
him.
and I met because we sat next to each other from New Orleans to LA on a flight, and we never stopped talking. Like, we didn't know each other, and I never talked to people on the plane. And we talked from takeoff to when it landed.
Yes.
And he was there with Tia Mowry, and she gave me the most amazing advice about divorce.
Yeah.
And so that's when it was the first time where I was like, I need to be talking to women who've been through this, connecting with them. She sent me books. She sent me podcasts. She gave me a mantra that I say that I feel like can be applied to everything to help to say about the past, present, and future, and how don't look back, what it'll do for you, don't look forward, the anxiety that'll give you, I'm paraphrasing, but be in the present or stay present. And that was freeing to me. So she is somebody that I really looked up to. And then just along the way, like Anisi Nash would give me advice. You know, a Garcelle would give me advice. Like people, and I realized I need to really create a community of divorced women. Yeah. Chriselle from Selling Sunset really would give, you know, she's been through a public divorce. So I found that is what my divorce was, such a specific situation that I needed to talk to people who had been through public divorces and understand some tools that they put in place, because I didn't have it in my everyday life.
Well, you mentioned like the tools and things like that, but outside of community, what strategies help you stay grounded when going through these moments
Like
of
the
grief?
tools.
I
think the things that bring you peace and that make you calm. I was watching a live show yesterday. I went to dinner and they had live music. And one of the questions he asked was like, what brings you peace? What calms you? Everything is so loud in the world.
Very loud.
And so I can literally answer this question because it was just asked of me. And I didn't answer. I didn't like shout out. But, I've said community a lot, so I'll move past that. But my home is so my sanctuary.
Yeah.
And I fought for that in the divorce. That like being at home and being still is big for me. Somebody said to me one time, walk outside every morning, let the sun hit you, grab your cup of coffee, whatever it may be, and say out loud the things that you want for yourself. Whether it's you talk to God, you talk to the universe, whatever you may believe it. And I do that. That gives me peace. It sets intentions for my day. So setting intentions, it's a form of meditation that I'll do. Working out, when I get to it, it comes in waves. That's a stress reliever. Yeah. Going on walks, walking my dogs brings me so much peace. And I put on headphones. I'm never really listening to anything. It's just for show. Yeah. But just being outside, being in nature, seeing how happy my dogs are.
Just like tell the people that you're not listening, and then they're gonna come up to you.
I know, right? I'll just press play real quick. Right. Sorry, can you hear me? That brings me peace.
Yeah.
Reading does, just like music, turning on music and just singing out loud and dancing in my house by myself.
I do that.
Yes, it is. Please, highly recommended.
I grab me that glass. Sometimes I can have water.
Yes.
Maybe a little gummy. I can dance in that house by myself.
It feels so good.
It's so good.
It's so that brings me peace. It brings me joy. It's those little small things that I find myself don't even realize that I'm smiling.
Yeah.
That's the kind of tools that have helped me out a lot.
That is so beautiful. And especially I want to speak on that last part because I often reflect on myself and I'm a very introspective person, but I think that it is so beautiful and I don't think people talk about it enough. When you're able to be with yourself, truly be with yourself in isolation and find enjoyment, you will be okay in this world. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that comes with time and it comes with growth. And I haven't always been that person. And what I will say is I was very conscious, and this comes through therapy and just getting older, of the things not to do.
Yep.
So I didn't drink. I wasn't trying to do a dry thing. I just didn't want to drown my sorrows in alcohol because I've done that before. And so for me, I was very conscious to say, like, don't drink. Don't drink because you're sad.
Yeah.
Drink when it's a moment for celebration. I was quick to not say, well, I'm just going to go out and party it away. Because I know when I wake up the next morning, I'm going to feel miserable and I'm alone. Yeah. And the feeling is still going to be there. I was very quick to not jump into a relationship because it's like, what am I really doing? I didn't want to mask. So this kind of goes back to one of your original questions of like, how do you feel? Part of the way I felt, or like, what do you do to feel it, was to not distract myself with things that didn't, that I knew would not really allow me to heal.
You spoke on your house earlier. What's your favorite room in that house?
Ooh, that's a good question. I love my living room.
Yeah.
Because, and I actually have done this in the last year. So I've been there for 3 years. And I remember when I moved in, or when I was seeing the house for the first time, there's a window that opens up and you can see the hedges and you can hear like this water fountain that's there. And the sun comes in, and I'm one of those people who loves the morning. I love the morning. And I remember I told the owner, I was like, I'm going to sit in a chair right here, and I'm going to open the window, and I'm going to listen to the water. I'm going to drink a cup of coffee, and I'm just going to take it all in. I never did that till I started going through something. So my living room is really just like a safe place for me where there's a lot of beautiful natural light. The material side, I love the furniture in it, the little setup. I think it's very calming. I think the colors are calming. I can hear the water fountain there. There's books in the background. It's just a very safe place. Yeah. And when people come over, that's where like there'll be game nights and fun times. So memories. I can feel like I can feel the energy, the good energy in the house.
Yep. What do you pray for the most?
honestly, in the last 2 years, peace.
Yeah.
That has been, and I do feel very at peace. It's a work in progress, right? I think that's what's so important about saying the things that you want out loud, intentions, mantra, prayer, because it is, you have to constantly remind yourself, you have to go back to it. But peace is what I pray for, because, and for so many things, right? The grief of losing a loved one, the losing the life that I had planned for myself, that it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to, losing the idea of somebody I thought they were one thing and it turns out that there's something different. The job situation, you know, there were so many things that I thought would be happening by 2025, but the industry's changing. So just, I am a person who, I've said before on this podcast, tries to control everything, and I worry a lot, and I can get fixated on that. And I've really been working on this past year in particular of letting go and just allow, and being at peace with that. Just it'll work itself out. You can't control everything. So I've that's never been the prayer before this last year, I would say, but it's peace.
That's good.